Hi students, welcome to my channel Thoughts of Physics.
In the video series of current electricity, in this class I am going to explain Ohm's law and the limitations of Ohm's law and the origin of resistivity. Now first let us discuss the statement of Ohm's law. The current passing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference between the ends of the conductor provided the temperature and physical conditions remains constant. So let us consider, say, conductor. This is the conductor. The potential difference between the ends of the conductor is, let us say, V. Now the current passing through the conductor is, let us say, I. I is the current passing through the conductor. Now according to Ohm's law, the current passing through the conductor I is directly proportional to the potential difference between the ends of the conductor. This relation can be written as V is equal to I into R. So if you remove this proportionality, we can write this equation as V is equal to IR, where V is the potential difference, I is the current, and R is the proportionality constant. Here the proportionality constant R is called the resistance of the conductor. So let it be equation number 1. Now from the first equation implies we can write the resistance R is equal to V over I, that is V by I. From this we can define the resistance of the conductor. Now the resistance of the conductor is defined as the ratio of the potential difference between the ends of the conductor to the current passing through the conductor. This is the resistance definition. Now the SI unit of resistance is ohm, and it is given by the symbol like this. This is the symbol of ohm, that is resistance. Now the resistance of the conductor is said to be 1 ohm if the current passing through the conductor is 1 ampere when the potential difference between the ends of the conductor is 1 volt. So from this equation R is equal to V by I. R is 1 ohm if V is 1 volt and I is 1 ampere. From that the resistance is said to be 1 ohm if the current passing through the conductor is 1 ampere when the potential difference between the ends of the conductor is 1 volt. Now the resistance of the conductor depends on the nature of the material. That means as the material changes, the resistance also changes. And next temperature. And next one is dimensions of the conductor. The resistance of the conductor depends on nature of the material, temperature and dimensions of the conductor. Now, so if you look at these dimensions of the conductor, the resistance of the conductor R is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. As the length changes, as the length increases, resistance increases. As length of the conductor decreases, the resistance decreases. And the resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross section, or proportional to 1 by A. If you write combinedly, that is R proportional to L by A. That is the resistance is directly proportional to the length of the conductor and it is inversely proportional to the area of cross section of the conductor. Now, so if you write this expression, so removing this proportionality symbol, that can be written as R is equal to rho L by A. So this is the expression for resistance. R is equal to rho L by A. This symbol is called rho, where rho is the proportionality constant and it is called the resistivity of the conductor. Now let us consider L is equal to 1 meter, that is unit length, and A is equal to 1 meter square, that is unit area of cross section. Then from this expression that R is equal to rho L by A, we can write R is equal to rho L, that is unit length 1 meter, and A unit area of cross section, that is 1 meter square. So then that gives R is equal to rho. That means that is the resistivity of a conductor is equal to resistance of the conductor. having unit length and unit area of cross section. The resistivity depends on the nature of the material and temperature. So it does not depends on dimensions of the conductor as resistance. The resistance depends on dimensions of the conductor like length and area of cross section, but the resistivity does not depends on the dimensions of the conductor. It depends only on the nature of the material and the temperature. Now, we know the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Now that is equal to I and R. Already we have got the expression for resistance. The resistance R is equal to rho L by A. Let us substitute the resistance value, that is rho L by A. We have taken the value of R. Then V is equal to I by A. I am writing this I by A separately. I by A into rho L. Now that is equal to, that implies V is equal to this I by A, the current per unit area, that can be written as current density J rho L. Let it be equation number 2. So V is equal to J rho L, where J is equal to I by A. The current per unit area is called current density. The SI unit of current density is ampere per meter square, and the current density is a vector quantity. It has a direction. Now, if V is the potential difference applied between the ends of the conductor, then the electric field E is the electric field. It is established between the ends of the conductor, and L is the length of the conductor. Then we can write the relation E is equal to V by L. This is the relation between electric field and potential difference. That can be written as, now from this V is equal to, we can write E into L. Let it be taken as equation number 3. So already we have considered the equation number 2, that is V is equal to J rho L. And this is the potential difference V, J rho L. And from the equation number 3, V is equal to EL. Now, if you equate the two equations, equation number 2, that is equal to 3. From the equation number 2 implies, that is J rho L. V is equal to J rho L. That is equal to, from the third equation, V is equal to E into L. L is cancel both sides. Then after cancellations, we will get J into rho, that is equal to E. Now this can be written as J is equal to, if you take this rho this side, it becomes 1 by rho into E. So then this 1 by rho, the reciprocal of the resistivity, that can be taken as conductivity. Then J is equal to sigma into E. The reciprocal of the resistivity is called conductivity, where the sigma is called conductivity. The SI unit of conductivity is Simon per meter. So in the vector form, J is equal to sigma into E. It can be written as J bar is equal to sigma into E bar. So this is the alternative form of Ohm's law. Already we know the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. This is the basic equation of Ohm's law. V is equal to IR. Now J is equal to sigma into E is the alternative form of Ohm's law. Now let us discuss the limitations of Ohm's law. Ohm's law applicable only for ohmic devices. Ohmic devices means the devices which obeys Ohm's law are called ohmic devices. So such as metallic conductors. Metallic conductors are the best examples for the ohmic devices. In case of ohmic devices, the relation between the potential difference and the current is linear, directly proportional. Next, Ohm's law not applicable for non-ohmic devices. The devices which do not obey Ohm's law are called non-ohmic devices. Example, semiconductors and electrolytes. These are non-ohmic devices. For these devices, the relation between current and voltage or potential difference is non-linear. For non-ohmic devices, Ohm's law is not applicable. Next, Ohm's law not applicable at high and low temperatures. So the temperature should be constant. At high temperatures and at low temperatures, the Ohm's law not applicable. Next, Ohm's law not applicable when physical conditions are changing. So Ohm's law applicable only when the physical conditions like pressure are constant. When the physical conditions are changing, Ohm's law is not applicable.
If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. For latest updates, subscribe and click the bell icon. Thank you.